Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one hiding in plain sight. The one who'd rather dissolve into the background than step into the glare. I see you. Listen, I get it. The world can be hell, cruel, relentless, full of noise and expectations, full of people who seem to move so easily through it while you struggle just to breathe. It's draining, isn't it? The way everything pulls at you, demanding something from you. It makes you want to shut it all out, to lock the door, turn off the lights, and let the silence wrap around you like armor. Because out there is loud. Out there is sharp edges and bright lights and voices that demand you be more, that you twist yourself into shapes that don't fit. Some days, it feels like everything is too much. And you just want to disappear into the quiet. To find some space where you don't have to explain why you are the way you are. And then that's when people start slapping labels on you. Too quiet, too sensitive. They mistake your stillness for indifference, your silence for emptiness. They tell you to speak up, to put yourself out there, to be more outgoing, as if your worth is measured by how much space you take up, how easily you fit into their world. But being introverted isn't a flaw. It means you feel more deeply, more fiercely, in ways that don't always translate into words. You don't just hear the rain. You feel its rhythm in your marrow. A crowded room isn't just a crowd. It's a symphony of heartbeats, a collision of stories, and you're absorbing every single one until it hums beneath your skin. You carry the weight of moments no one else notices, the sharp edges of past mistakes, the echoes of words left unsaid. And yeah, it can definitely be exhausting. But it's also beautiful. Because feeling deeply means you see the world in a way others might not. You notice the small things, finding meaning in the things others overlook. A flickering street light, the way the wind shifts just before a storm, the warmth of a late afternoon sunbeam on your skin. These aren't just passing details to you. They are reminders that despite everything, there's still something worth holding on to. And I know, it doesn't always feel like enough. Sometimes, the weight of the world presses too hard against your chest. Sometimes, the voices in your head are louder than the ones outside, telling you that you're too much or not enough or that you'll never quite fit. But that's not true. Because in all that noise and all that doubt, there's still a space that belongs to you. A space where quiet isn't empty, it's alive. It's where you breathe, where you make sense of the world, where your thoughts stretch out like constellations in the dark. You don't need to be loud to be heard. Courage isn't always about speaking. It's about showing up, day after day, even when the world feels too heavy to carry. But I know, some days, even that space, the one that's supposed to be yours, doesn't always feel so. Even the quiet feels fragile. And when the world keeps moving, pushing, demanding, it's easy to wonder if there's really room for someone like you. If all the trying, all the existing really matters. But maybe, just maybe, it's not about proving your place in the whole world. And yes, the world isn't always kind, and it's in ways that make you want to turn your back on it. But this isn't about the whole world. It's about finding the pieces of it that do. The ones that feel like home. The friend who sits with you in silence and understands. The book that cracks your heart open and stitches it back together. The song that feels like it was written for the secret, unspoken parts of you. The fleeting, fragile moments that, even for a second, remind you why you keep going. And those moments don't fix everything. They don't erase the ache of existing in a world that grinds you down. But they matter. They remind you that even on the hardest days, you are not just enduring, you are living. So no, you don't have to be louder. You don't have to be someone you're not. You don't have to force yourself into spaces that drain you just to prove you do belong. You do belong, exactly as you are. So keep going. Not for the world, but for yourself. For the small joys. For the moments that make your heart feel lighter. And when it feels like the darkness is closing in, when you start to wonder if it's even worth it,